Good morning, Solid Steppers. What's up? This is Miss Ward coming to you. Right now, I'm in Georgia. I'm headed back to Florida, then bouncing over to Alabama. But, I'm going to make a little video here because I got a question and I really want to answer it in a video. I'm answering this for a couple of reasons. Generally, I don't do this simply because I feel real business owners need to pay for consults. But I realize a lot of people are never going to pay because they cheap and they think that they can do something cheaper, which is all the reasons why their damn business don't grow. But that's a whole nother video. I'm sure I'll get to that. All right. So someone asked a question about how much do I how much do I pay my subcontractors? Now my situation is different. This is why people should get consults. I have a premium customer base. I require a premium tech. So I'm not going to penny pinch this guy when I realize, number one, that he's an expert, that he has a skill set a step or two above mine. I'm going to pay them and not ask a question. Now generally when I do it, my guys make anywhere from $200 to $600 a job, depending on what it is. And that's basically how I pay. I vet the subcontractor because when I deal with my subcontractors, they're polished. They understand the level of clientele I'm dealing with. They also understand the level of his service that's expected. I don't have to train them. I might need to tell them how I go through my step-by-step sequence so we don't have a issue. But at the end of the day, I only deal with premium subs. So they get premium pay, 200 to 600 a job. Sometimes there's subs that I pay like $1,200 or $1,300 on a job. But that's because I needed that level of excellence to maintain my rapport with the client and the vendor I may be servicing. We have commercial and high end, customers. I'm not saying that's my exclusive, but that's most of the clientele that I service. There's no reason for me to show up if you're not, because you don't fit my avatar. It's nothing personal. I'm here to, I'm in a business. I'm here to make money. So all those things take into effect. I hear that there are some people pay people $50 a job and then $25 when they go back. I ain't got time to be adding that type of shit up. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm about my bag and I'm about a level of excellence being executed. So my subs move the same way. But I only call my subs when I need them. I do a lot of my own work. And a lot of times when I'm bringing the subs in, not only are they doing something that might be out of my scope, they may be closer to the customer and can take care of them in a quicker manner than I can, which is all these things factor into how I do business. But I can only speak for myself. The reason why we offer consultation for these issues is because everybody's situation is different. If you're in a new business or if you haven't had subs before, there's a vetting process you have to go through. There are things that you need to check. You can't have anybody going into somebody's house because from the background check to everything else. You got to understand you are responsible. Hey, welcome back to Florida. You are responsible for them. They are reflecting your business. So they can't go in there smelling like weed, uncombed hair, pants hanging down. I mean, the bottom line is that the customer has developed a relationship with you. So a lot of my customers are very particular when someone other than myself show up, because the only reason they're calling me or dealing with me is because they trust me and they've already seen the nightmares of what just shows up. You never know who gonna come, because it's a lot of people that have appliance repair businesses and they run them remotely and they just send anybody, anywhere, anytime. That all they care about is collecting that little piece of change, which ain't worth the headache when you got a technician ruining your reputation, when you are doing substandard work, when you're damaging customers' properties and homes because the person you sent in is not properly trained. And the sad part about it is I watch people send in subs or send in guys who don't have a clue, that are training on customers' equipment. It's nothing wrong with learning, but you should have someone with them who can control the damage, if you know what I mean. because I think one thing that people really fail at in this industry when it comes to that sub thing is they never look through the customer's eyes. I mean, 99% of the stuff people don't ever look through the customer's eyes. You got to realize, I just opened my house, that I really don't want nobody coming in here if I don't know you. You follow me? And I'm allowing you into my space with myself, my wife, my kids, my husband, whatever it may be, you know, and you just let anybody show up. And then some people just come out their mouth with just the dumbest I've ever heard in my life. I've seen people and heard of people saying things to customers. Now, I talk smack all day long, even with my customers. That's part of my personality. That's my flair. But the reality is, I'm well versed, well read, and well learned. So I can carry on a conversation from the hood to the boardroom and code switch like it's nothing. A lot of people can do that. But the reason I'm saying, there's a time and a place for what's appropriate and what's not. You know, and the key is, the same way people live in their personal life is how the hell they ass gonna live in this customer house. They gonna go in there pretending one way, but time they get comfortable, the BS gonna slip out and you're gonna have a problem. And this is why I'm so particular about who I deal with, who I affiliate personally and professionally. You know, like I said, a lot of people may not agree with my ass, but they damn sure respect me, because ain't nobody grinding like I'm grinding. Multiple states, multiple vendors, multiple clients are moving at the point and the level I am. And the reason is because I chose to do that. I have so many things going on in my life right now. My AI certifications is artificial intelligence certifications are kicking my butt right now. But I'm doing that because I have to stay I have to stay relevant in every area of my life. And one thing that I exercise, just like I take my round brown butt in that gym, is my mind. And I choose some of the most difficult subjects like quantum physics, quantum computing, simply because I understand that I have to keep my mind alert. If I succumb to the BS that I see people do, I will never, ever reach any goals I have. And I believe that we are all well-rounded. There's always a hobby or interest outside of appliance repair. Now, if you are, this is all you do, this is all you know, and this is your thing, I ain't knocking it. You feel me? I am not knocking it at all. There are some savants in this field that there are no words, because this is what they do. I respect them to the highest. But that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I believe in being 360 in every, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, you know, intellectually. You know, you got people out here that don't have the intellectual bandwidth of a gnat, but it's okay. I just don't talk to them. You know, and I'm saying all that to say is, watch your circle. When I finish this video, I'll be checking in with Gio. That's my early morning check-in. I'm gonna send a text over to LP, make sure he ain't killed nobody, or himself working the job and running a full-fledged appliance repair business. I'm gonna check in with Q. My day one, I'm gonna reach out to David, see what he got going on. David's always on the cutting edge. You know, he's got things going on with Disney and all kind of stuff. And this is what I mean about your damn circle. You know, David's dealing with Disney, so if David's dealing with Disney, I'm dealing with Disney, because we have that kind of rapport where if he get in the door, if he can throw me back some scraps, he damn sure is. If he need me to go cover him because we cover the state, he know he can trust me. That's what I mean about those relationships. You know, you can't do everything yourself, but you got to make sure your damn relationships is doing the rest. And I love each guy that I deal with in the industry. They all have their strong point. Shout out to Phil and Augusta, always on that training thing. Let me tell you something. If ain't nobody taught me about the importance of training, it's Phil. Shout out to Phil and Atomic Appliance Repair up in Augusta in Ohio, because he got it like that. You know, this is a guy that's got managing 12 techs, probably more at this point, in multiple locations, and he's that go-to technical support. Plus, he's in the field doing sales systems and anything else that's needed. This is why when people tell me what they can't do, I ain't got nothing for you. I mean, absolutely, NOTHING, nothing. Because at the end of the day, it's on us. We got to not only get out here and get it, we got to make it work. We got to keep it solid, and we got to stay consistent. And the only way you're going to do that is the caliber of people you deal with. You know, I'm telling you what I know. That's one thing people don't understand. Everybody always talking about your 5 friends. Man, let me tell you something. I need more than 5, okay? Because I have people all across my life. Shout out to Star, Tracy, and Sarah. These are my study group in my AI group. Let me tell you something. A lot of y'all one-dimensional. I don't know how the hell I went from subcontractors to this, but I'm just keeping it a buck. You know, I always talk about what moves me because I realize a lot of times when these things come up in my spirit, I'm talking to myself, but I'm also, there's somebody that need to hear this. So at the end of the day, target what you want. If you're going to bring subcontractors in, make sure they reflect your company image, that they understand your company motto and what you stand for. And people say, well, I don't have none of that. Well, damn it, you got some morals, I hope. And I know that you have some basic principles. And you got to understand, be very careful with subs because you can go to a couple of jobs with them and they straight up. And then next thing you know, you send them on jobs and they get comfortable because they think you're not showing up. Something that I did early on with my subcontractors, I had multiple subcontractors out in multiple places at one time. And because my background is managing techs in shops remotely, like I used to, at one point I had Georgia, Florida, and Carolina, which was in the Carolinas, which was crazy in my previous life. And I would travel those areas to the point that my staff thought I lived there because they would see me so frequently, like I'm around the corner. Like they never knew when I was going to show up. And and when I showed up, I always showed up bearing gifts. I bring lunch or something like that. But the reality is that I kept my finger on the pulse. I knew what my people were doing. I knew when they were struggling. I was there to provide support. Because a lot of times it ain't even about catching somebody in the midst of stuff. A lot of times it's about making sure they have the tools to be successful. Because another thing when you're dealing with people, and this is employees and subcontractors, they will never tell you what they need until it's too late. Because most people try to figure it out or they feel like they're going to be looked at as being incompetent or some negative situation. And the reality is that everybody needs support. Miss Ward needs support. I'm telling you, I was just having a conversation with Gio last night. And then on top of that, personal things happen in life. And that's what I'm telling you about keeping your finger on the pulse. Whether you have subcontractors or employers, you need to be always checking the pulse of your people. Because if you're going to run a business and you're going to have people in that business that are a reflection of you and they affect your livelihood and your bag, you better know what's going on with them. Because there's a lot of people out here in this world going through things with no support, no rule book, no Bible, no Quran, no Torah. They just out here. And I'm not knocking nobody, but I'm just telling you what I know, what I see, and what I dealt with. And my corporate life was just as wild as my life right now. Because believe me, anytime you work in a trade, woo-wee, out of control. That's all I'm gonna say. Trying to tell you, I'm so glad I survived that. But anyway, with that said, enough of the tales from the crypt. I want everybody to have an outstanding day. I want you to stay blessed. Remember, you're highly favored and that you were born for this. Now let's go get it.